Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Monday, February 10th. I just sent out the new issue of MMT Trader. If you want to get that, go to my website, pitbulleconomics.com, and sign up for a 30-day free trial. Nice rally today in stocks. As you know, last week, the last video I made actually, I said that I was a little bit early on the sell call. The latest data from the banks, the banking data, shows a very nice pickup in loans and leases, not just on a nominal basis, but also growth rates in almost all segments of loans and leases. That means consumer loans, commercial and industrial loans, real estate loans, auto loans, credit card loans, all up, and most of those segments not just up nominally, but also at an increasing growth rate. So the growth rate picked up. So, I mean, you got to look at that stuff, and I look at that stuff. As far as the fiscal situation is concerned, we still are seeing a deceleration. It's still fiscal positive, let's call it that. The spending flows exceed the tax flows. However, the growth rate of the tax flows is running faster than the spending flows. What does that mean? It means at some point, if it continues like this, taxes will be flowing out of the economy. In other words, income will be flowing out of the economy into the government faster than the government is pumping income back into the economy. That will be a brake on the economy. But at this point, it is not at the level yet, seemingly so. It's not at the level yet that it is applying that brake. And again, we have credit demand going up. This was the second weekly increase in credit growth and a somewhat of an acceleration, as I mentioned. There's other things too. I mean, if you look at petroleum demand, even though we see oil prices going down, and remember, last month up around 59, I was saying you got to short oil. We had been long oil for the entirety of 2019. We bought every single dip. We reversed. We went short up at 59. It was a little bit early because you had that Soleimani spike, and then it just collapsed. We're buying down here. 4 weeks in a row of demand pickup. We've had some inventory reductions. What else? Exports are firm. So there are some indicators within the petroleum complex that demand is not falling off a cliff, and that's what you would surmise. That's the picture you would get if you're reading the headline. We're in another one of these headline-driven situations with the coronavirus, just like we were in the headline-driven situation with the trade war. So we're back into it, and I know a lot of you out there, I mean, I had people at one time, some subscribers saying, "Hey, Mike, I don't need your service. I could just trade the headlines." It's as if they've stumbled onto, the secret of success. Hey, I'm just going to trade off the headlines, because nobody does that, right? Nobody does that. Hey, I just thought of something new. I'm going to trade off the headlines. Wow. So yeah, the economic underpinnings are still positive. But the trend looks like at some point it's going to flip, just because the fiscal situation is decelerating. That thing is going to reverse. And one easy thing to look at is the deficit right now is only $7 billion above last year. We're at $357 billion on the deficit. That's only $7 billion higher than where it was last year. Now, last year at this time, the deficit was $120 billion. In other words, the government pumped in $120 billion more than it took away in taxes. So now it's only $7 billion. So you see the slowdown. we're going to hit an inflection point where it's going to flip, where the tax flows will exceed the spending flows, and that's it. I mean, that's the water draining out of the pool. Finally, let me leave you off with, I watched a really cool video today. It was an interview with chess champion Garry Kasparov. He was a world's greatest chess champion for a long time. He beat a number of times computers, including that IBM computer. But he said, here are the things to make a great chess champion. He broke it down. Number one, he talked about fear of making a decision. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of making a mistake guarantees mistakes. We all know that in trading. People are so scared to pull the trigger on a trade that they never do it, and you cannot have success unless you pull the trigger, unless you take action. But fear of being wrong, fear of making a mistake keeps on. You got to wait. They want everything perfect. Everything's got to be aligned, this and that. Number two, he said great chess players are able to make decisions with uncertain outcomes. Sound familiar? When we trade, it's an uncertain outcome. It can go up, it can go down. We don't know. And next, tied into that, he said that even your best decision, even your best decision does not produce or does not guarantee a perfect outcome. So we spend a lot of time, what does that mean to me? It means we spend a lot of time analyzing, looking for a system, a way to make the right decision, whatever you use, moving averages, stochastics, RSI, analytics like I do, fundamentals. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Now, the coolest thing that he said is that to play at the highest level of chess means you have to have internal strength. There it is, mental game, mental toughness. And he said despite everything that he uses in coming to a decision in the end, he just basically has to push through it, muscle through it, make it happen, make it work out. Fascinating. Fascinating. If you want the exact things he said, I'll be happy to send it to you. Go to my website, sign up for a 30-day free trial of MMT Trader, and I'll send you his exact quote. But I've used analogies of high-level athletes, fighters. This is another one. It's all aligned. It's all the same thing. These are all the same traits that are involved with producing success, regardless of your activity, your endeavor, your work. It's all the same. It's about sticking it out. It's about mental toughness. All of these people, there's no secret. Like you would expect a guy like him to say, yeah, there's a secret. You have to know certain moves and you could win. No, he said, we don't know the outcome. And when he does something, if it ends up not going the way he wants, you just got to push through it. You just got to make it work. That's what it's all about. All right, everybody, go to my website, pitbulleconomics.com. Sign up for a 30-day free trial of MMT Trader. The link is in the description below. Bye.